I thought I knew disappointment like back when in the first grade, I told my friends I had a crush on this girl, and they told that crush while we were at our lunch table, and my crush just looked at me and said, "Ill." Or, well, it's really one of the only times. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more, but not that I could really think of at the moment. I watched the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight last night, and whew, what a stinker with that one. That was the most boring fight that I had ever seen. Uh, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just like being sucked into boredom town, and just all fun just went out the window. It was so boring. The first round was okay. Like that was probably the best round. The first two rounds were probably the best rounds. And then you get to the third round, and Mike Tyson is just biting his glove and walking. Like the first two rounds, he was fast. He was like Sonic out there. He was fast as hell, coming in with 1-2s every 2 seconds. And then after the first and second round, like the third round, he just like slowed down significantly. Like you could tell he was not looking good. I mean, I get it. He's 58, but wow. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting Mike Tyson to win. I was expecting Mike Tyson to knock Jake Paul out in like the first three rounds, if I'm being honest. But taking in consideration with how old he is, it makes sense why he was pretty slow after the first two rounds. I thought maybe he might have a little bit of more in him, but I guess that tank was already on empty once they got into the ring because it was not looking good. Jake Paul did land a few good shots, but again, the whole fight, the whole majority of the fight was just super boring. It was the most boring fight I had ever seen. I mean, Jake Paul did take the dub for any Jake Paul fans. I definitely wasn't rooting for Jake Paul. I was definitely rooting for Mike Tyson. That was definitely my go-to in the ring. But unfortunately, Jake Paul took the dub. I guess I can't be mad. He did land more punches than Mike Tyson, but then again, it's because Mike Tyson was throwing. He only threw like I think it was like 90 something throws, and Jake Paul threw like 278, and he landed 78 of them. So he threw definitely more and landed way more. Mike Tyson only landed like 16, which was insane. I was like, damn, that's crazy. They were talking about in the like pre-game, pre-fight interview with three of the hostess. They were talking about if this was a lose-lose situation. It was a lose-lose situation all around for Jake Paul, regardless if he went win or loss. Didn't matter. It was gonna be a lose-lose. One of the hosts actually said it was a win-lose-lose-lose. Win, Jake Paul wins, but he also loses at the same time because he beat a 58-year-old man. He beat an elderly man, and it was lose lose if he lost because then he got beat by an old man. So regardless, it was either win lose or lose lose. But Jake Paul, again, he made it clear that Jake Paul really doesn't care whether it's good or bad publicity. All of it, he wants all of it. He doesn't give a fuck, which I'm pretty sure is true. He doesn't give a fuck about anything, honestly. I'm not really sure. I don't really keep up with Jake Paul or Logan Paul, but I'm pretty sure they just don't give a fuck and kind of just do whatever they want to do. One of the clips when they were live streaming was an interview between Mike Tyson and his son, and he was asking him like, "Hey, like, so what's the game?" He's like, "Just win. That's it." He's like, "All right," and when he walks off, just nothing but bare cheeks from fucking Mike Tyson. I was like, what the fuck? I started dying and giggling with my feet in the air with how fucking silly it was that Mike Tyson just walked around in his bare cheeks. and they panned down on his cheeks too, which is even more hilarious. I think the highlight of that night was the fight before between what was her name? Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. That fight was way more better than the Mike Tyson. Like that should have been the fight to watch because that was a goddamn good fight. It lasted all 10 rounds, and they went pretty hardcore. I mean, a lot of the time they did hug. I mean, they hug a lot, and but it was still, regardless of that hugging, was fucking phenomenal. It was a really great performance between both of them. Serrano ended up actually getting like a cut because Taylor was headbutting a lot, and that's a no-no, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really knowing the whole rules of boxing. I don't really watch it that often. I only watch it whenever there's really big fights, which the last fight I watched was the Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo. That was the last time I really paid attention to a boxing match. Anyway, she ended up getting a cut on like her like above her eyebrow, and just as a fight, and it was after the fourth round, and after that cut, like it just kept getting worse and worse. It was not looking good. Like that shit was opening up. That shit was insane. She was bleeding like a motherfucker, and anytime like they would hug, like the Taylor, whenever like they would get close and hug, that blood would just start rushing onto, like, I think after like the ninth round, once they went back to their corners, like Taylor's face was just nothing but blood from Serrano, like, because she was bleeding that bad. But Serrano did get robbed. Serrano did get robbed. I think Serrano had a way better performance rather than Taylor. They both did. I don't know what that is. They both did pretty well. I think Serrano was robbed. I think I think it's because Taylor did land a lot. I think a few more shots than Serrano, but Serrano was really hitting it. And towards the end, it looked more like Taylor was about to get knocked out rather than Serrano. Even with a cut that big on her fucking right here, on her fucking above her eyebrow, like it was actually phenomenal. A great fight for the first fight that I saw. I don't know if there was any more fights previous. I didn't watch anything else. I kind of just tuned in once that fight was about to start, and I started watching it. And then it went into the Mike Tyson fight. Their intros, honestly, with Mike Tyson, I was kind of hoping that just dead silence. He entered dead silence, but he entered with Ante Up, which is a great song. Fucking love that song. Jake Paul came in with a good homage to Hangover and came out to, what's that song name? I don't know the song name, but it's from The Hangover when Mike Tyson and Brett, the fuck is his name? I forgot his fucking name. Alan and the other one, and they're like in his fucking penthouse, and he plays that song and he starts singing, and then he fucking knocks out Alan. Like that shit was fucking. He did a good homage to The Hangover. I'll give him that. And he did come in on a fucking badass fucking Chevy truck, dually I think it was. He came on in a badass truck, lowered and shit and everything, coming to that song, banging. Mike Tyson just came on. When he came in, bro, he looked like he was ready to fuck shit up. Like, he had his game face on. He looked pissed. He looked like someone just took the last fucking Oreos out of the Oreo fucking box, and he was fucking ready to unleash mayhem. He looked like my dad after my dad would realize that me and my sister ate all of our fucking cookies and there was none left. So that's how my dad would look, was how Mike Tyson was walking down that. It was pretty, honestly, it was pretty intimidating. I don't know about anybody else, but if I was Jake Paul, I would have been fucking terrified out of my fucking mind to fight Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, even with 58, I don't know, I'd still be scared. But hey, they put on a good show, I guess. It was all right. Very mediocre, very, very too overhyped, in my opinion. Hyped out the wazoo. There was really most boringest fight I've ever seen. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet giving my opinion. Deuces.